Here. Okay, just kidding, we're back. Let's blame it on the day again. Go ahead, Cornelia. It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
Yeah, we'll just blame it on
It's Sunday morning. What do you expect?
Yeah, right? Every day's a Monday this week. What the heck? We had some mic issues this week.
Yeah.
We're good now.
We just roll with it, though. I saw some of the comments yesterday saying, way to roll with it, ladies. That's what it's come to in 2017, right?
Yep.
It's like, this is live TV, but we're inviting you into, or you're inviting us rather, into your homes now, into the palm of your hands, because you guys are watching us on Facebook Live. So thank you so much. Leave your comments. You guys know we're here to chime in, to let you guys chime in. This is your conversation as much as it is ours. Our first story has to do with dogs, and we know that when it comes to dogs and potential dog abuse, people get fired up. So what's the story, Dina?
All right, so this one is coming to you out of Dallas this morning, at least the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So there was a gentleman whose dog was in the back of his pickup truck, and he actually had it on a leash. I think, is my mic on?
Uh-oh, is Dina's mic
God.
not?
I'm cursed.
You are cursed.
Can you turn it
Yeah.
off, Amelia?
It's, okay.
It's just the mute.
Oh, just a little mute.
There you go.
There we go.
Just
Okay.
a flick of a switch.
How about that?
Is that good?
I don't hear you either.
Oh. Okay.
It's just
all right, it's on. It's on. We're good.
Keep it going. I could hear you the whole
mode.
time.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, so this dog out of Dallas, this man out of Dallas was driving his pickup truck around on one of the main highways that go through the area, and he had his dog attached to the bed with a leash, a short leash. And somebody actually captured video of it, and this person is an animal rights activist. And so the woman began filming and says she posted the video with the message saying, how can anyone be so heartless and so cruel to think this dog is enjoying himself, barely clinging on at 70 miles per hour. Her name is Marina, and she put this on social media to try to make sure that people are aware that this happens and to spread awareness that it shouldn't. So the person whose animal it is said, mind your own business. This is my dog. This has nothing to do with you. He's happy. He's fine. Everybody needs to just mind their own business, you see in the quote there. And so the dog owner claims that he felt threatened when he noticed he was being filmed, so then he tried to drive off even faster, according to him. But now this has been shared thousands of times on social media. People are very upset about this. I looked up a couple of different laws. Our team has looked up different laws to see what the legality is behind this. In Dallas specifically, there is a city ordinance that you are not allowed to do this with your pet. But different cities, different states, different counties will have different laws, regardless if it's legal or illegal, though. I looked up this statistic. It is estimated that 100,000 dogs die each year riding in the back of pickup trucks by flying out after an accident, falling out accidentally, or sliding out of the back of an open tailgate. And that's from the Humane Society of Utah. 100,000. And this is a huge problem, and this is something that whether or not it's legal, you just shouldn't do, and there is a right way to do it. If you want to transport your animal in the back of a truck, there is a harness that you can get. And I want to show you, if our iPad can pick this up, Pedro. This is something that keeps the leash in the center of the bed of the truck. So the problem with a dog being leashed is that it can really move around over the side of either, section of the bed. And so this particular leash, it's only $25 on Amazon, and it keeps the leash in the middle of the bed of the truck. That way a dog cannot fall off the side.
And I love all of this, but do we know? I mean, he has a point. I think the driver kind of has a point. His dog, his business. Do we know if he had or did not have this kind of leash? Because he says the dog likes it and calm down. I mean, I look at it and my initial reaction, because it's my first time seeing the video, is, everyone is always up in everyone's business, and not to say that I would do this with my dog, but my dog's very jumpy and she'll jump out whether she has a leash or not. You'll see her hanging on the side of the truck if that was her, because that's her personality. The dog did seem a little scared, a little timid, kind of like trying to balance on all four paws, but we don't know, right, if he used that leash or not. I'm just trying to think of it from his perspective as well. It's like, you're just driving down the street thinking you're doing something fine, transporting your dog who likes to be outside, and now you're blown up as like this dog hater. I don't know.
I think I was a little
taken
aback when he said he likes it. How you know? Did you go out to the back of the truck and ask the dog?
But how do you know he didn't?
But how do you know he didn't? How do you know he didn't? And if it's a question that you don't know if your dog liked it or not, just put him in the back seat. Like, what's the big deal to put in the back seat? However, I do understand when you see somebody doing something with their pet. That's like that. It's like a baby. If you see somebody doing something with the baby, you can offer recommendations. But at the end of the day, the parent is going to say, "This is my baby. Stay out of my business."
Yeah.
However, when he said he likes it, so you asked Jeremy. You went to the back of the truck and asked Jeremy if he liked it, and Jeremy the dog told you, "Yeah, it's cool."
Okay,
back
but
here."
hey, how about Brewski? Do you know if he likes or doesn't like certain things? Does he like sitting near the window?
Well, I can tell that he gravitates towards certain things, right? But I will say, whether or not the dog was okay in the moment, it's not just the owner who could make a mistake here on the road. Accidents happen all the time. And if you have to suddenly brake, if there is an accident in front of you and you have to suddenly brake, if somebody rears into your lane and you suddenly get into an accident is called accident for a reason. So whether or not the dog seemed to be liking it, whether or not it's legal or not legal, there is a better way to make sure that your dog is a little better protected. You can also crate them in the back and bungee cord the crate down. I mean, yes, are we getting involved in this person's business? Yes. Should we put him on blast for what he did? Maybe, maybe not. That depends on who you are.
The digital age.
It is, but I think the bigger conversation that has started is, 100,000 dogs die every year as a result of accidents, of things that the owners didn't plan on happening when their dogs were in the bed of the truck. That's according to the Humane Society of Utah again. So maybe this was a good conversation to have. It's unfortunate that this gentleman says, like, why are you picking on me? This does happen. I just saw this in Vacaville a couple of weeks ago. Made my heart sink into my stomach, and I actually went to get the person's license plate just in case, because what happens if the dog jumps out while you're in traffic and then another car comes up and hits it?
That example and those statistics, do we know if that is referring to dogs who have been leashed in the back of the car? Because I'm just curious to know if that many dogs have died and they have been leashed, because it's like, wow, they jump out, and are they hanging on the side of the truck?
Well, this doesn't specifically. It doesn't specifically say that, but I do know that if a dog's jolted while leashed, they can lose their footing and get choked.
Okay.
And that can happen.
Well, let me play the other side, devil's advocate, because there is one side of the population who says it's a dog. Like, a lot of times,
to some people, a dog is a dog.
To some people, a dog is. It's an animal. It's a pet. Some people have them and they don't really consider them a part of their family. They just see them like they would see a hamster, or maybe or maybe like a turtle, like where it's just something that you have. So, could that have been the case with this gentleman, where he strapped the dog to the back of the truck? If the dog flops around and flies off the side, to him, maybe, oh well, it's just a dog. I'm just, and again, this is just for the other side.
That's
of the
what Leanne Mason just
you
wrote.
have some people who look at their pets as a part of the family. They kind of consider them a person. They say, "Oh, that's my baby." They look at them like a child. And some people just say, "Oh, it's just a pet.
Yeah,
no big deal." So maybe that's where the truck driver was coming from.
Like, I'm just trying to transport my dog. There's the other side, and I agree with John Sullivan, who says that, Raul Ignacio Zaragoza. Dina has a good point, though, and this is where I agree. If say he did have an accident, people would be outraged. And that's the thing, is he and anyone who gets in the car and puts their dog in the back, leashed or not leashed, even with the proper leashing for the bed of a truck, if something were to happen on the road and you jolt, and then you see that, and you're trying to protect the dog who's in the back, and you don't fully stop and you hit someone in front of you, that person hit, it could be a chain reaction. So many things can happen. Being on the road in general is like the wild, wild west out here these days, with everyone on their phone and doing that whole thing. So I think that point is valid. But to sit here and, I don't know, he looks like he's like, what? Everybody pretty much needs to mind their own business. What? He likes it.
Right.
I hear you, Pedro. Pedro's on the other side of the camera. What are you saying? Because I know you come from a millennial generation. You're a guy. Just a different perspective.
Dog looks distressed. It doesn't look
dog
like
looks distressed. Doesn't look like it's having a good time.
That's
trying to hold on.
I feel like it'd be different if it was like a sealed truck bed too, you know?
Right.
That's an open truck bed. That's just a leash.
Yeah, and I will pose this question to those of you watching: whether or not you agree that this gentleman should have done it, do you think that there should be laws in place in every city, or do you think we don't need to over-regulate? We don't need the law to get involved in every single thing we do. It's your jurisdiction. It's your property, technically. What you want to do should be up to you. And if you get in an accident and your dog dies, then that is you. Or do you think there should be laws? Because in the case where somebody is filming, like this woman was. She was
Who was
putting
on the passenger side of the other car?
I'm not sure.
Someone's asking that. Like the more important problem is like the lady who's recording.
And that's just it. You're not allowed to be on your phone and record a video. So that is also a distraction.
It looks like she's on the passenger side, but that's assuming.
And hopefully she is.
Right.
But you know, for the people who don't pull out their phone and record, but just look at the dog, that's distracting too. I mean, when you're driving on the freeway 75 miles an hour and you look and go, oh my gosh, there's a dog there, then you're not paying attention. So should this be regulated so that we don't have accidents and we can prevent things from happening? Or are you on the side of no more regulation, no more laws, just let people do their thing? I'm curious to see what people say.
Well, Amy Brower says no more laws.
Okay.
Let's see. Michelle Anderson, guy's an idiot. Dogs deserve to be secure. It's not right. If he falls off, some poor person hits him, ? My dog rides inside with me. So to each his own, but good point. James
David Wong also says laws are great.
Okay.
It would be nice if that existed, were enforced. So there's that too.
That's great.
The animal rights activist who did take the video, she was clearly upset because she is an animal rights activist.
Right.
But she did go on to do an interview, and then in the story out of our Dallas station, they did mention that it's not within the authority of animal control to pull over these animals or these drivers. It would need to be police getting involved. So then are you asking police to come off of another type of a situation, pull them into this conversation when there's other fish to fry? I mean, the list goes on of things that there could be pros and cons to with the story.
And especially with animals, because this is kind of like the conversation about, can you break someone's window if you see a dog inside?
Or a baby.
Or a baby. Or not even a baby, because, again, a dog, because to some people, a dog is just a pet. To others, it's a part of your family. So I think the conversation around pets and what you can and can't do and what should be legal and what should, what should be the norm and the standard, it's starting to get a little, it's starting to stretch out a little bit wider.
Yeah, and I think in order,
now we're here talking about the dog on the back of the truck.
And the fact that the dogs can't talk, therefore they don't have a voice, they're voiceless. So like the story we talked about with the monkey who took the selfie, does he or his kind deserve the money since he is the owner of this photo? If he took the photo, we're talking about that whole PETA situation out of San Francisco. The same thing, it takes an activist for animals, right, to stand up for them. Otherwise, these dogs, cats, whatever other animal are out there just, they are being treated the way that their owner wants to treat them. They have no voice. So it takes an activist to get up there and to create these conversations. Otherwise, we wouldn't be talking about it.
Right, yeah. So keep weighing in on that conversation. I don't know what's going to end up happening with that gentleman. I know that where he was driving, Producer Brady, if you can confirm, it was not legal for the dog to be in the back. Maybe break. Okay, that's correct.
Okay.
So where he was, it was not
Against the
legal.
law.
Right.
And it's getting heated up in these comments. People are saying, "Shut up! She was the passenger." People are getting so. Thank you. We love the passion here. Hate this. The dog looks so stressed out. Not safe for the dog. No, no, no. That's from Melinda. You did him a favor, Francis. Some good human being opened a GoFundMe page. Now this hardworking man can open 3 more food carts. Oh, she's talking about the food carts and the permits from yesterday.
Well, Sacha said, your dog, your liability, no more laws.
Oh.
So.
Like at all? No
okay. Okay. Let's keep this conversation rolling, maybe even into tomorrow. Once if this is going this viral, we'll see what happens next.